Mm-hmm. 6:13, got about 45 minutes before I have to leave.
Yes.
Now, kind of looking over these moral turpitudes,
Yeah.
let's say
Right.
that I wasn't at the settlement conference setting meeting
Yes.
because you didn't give me notice of it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we agreed that we'd have another one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that's the wrong one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That at this hearing,
Yeah.
child support worksheet, MOSH affidavit declaration,
Mm-hmm.
and then notice of another hearing on 10/5.
Yeah.
And then we together decided we needed to have another meeting on December 31st of 2012,
Yes.
and that you're not going to put it on there
No. Mm-mm.
so that somebody else can agree to the conditions of the dissolution of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
there could be some paternity fraud,
Yes.
the obligation of bigamy, some kidnapping,
Yeah.
and depending on what was said during the hearings or the meetings,
Yes.
some lewdness.
Ooch.
Did the individual that impersonated myself, did they use any cuss words, profanity, curse words, or any other language that I wouldn't have used
Yes.
during one of these meetings? Now, when I
Yes.
am supposed to motion the court
Yes. He is. Mm-hmm.
because you issued a dissolution of marriage, and the thought was, well, we're not going to send it to him.
Mm-mm.
We're not going to give him a copy.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to conspire together
Yes.
to obligate him to have to motion the court.
Yes.
And then he's going to find out
Mm-hmm.
after he motions the court
Yes.
what the father had agreed to,
Yes.
because you never gave me a copy of the dissolution of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
See, really, there was somebody
Yes.
as the imposter because there was somebody
Yes.
in Sequim, Washington on December 31st. And there was somebody
Yes. Mm-hmm.
in Jefferson County on June 16th of 2017.
Yes.
And the whole plan was
Yeah.
that when I motioned the court,
Yes.
after you issued it,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't get a copy of it,
Right.
you, the judge, were going to tell me that I was crazy
Mm-hmm.
because I'd already agreed to all the conditions of the dissolution of marriage. And then you were going to tell me, well, Paul,
Yes.
you know you were there. And you have, you have a schizophrenia.
Yes.
You're bipolar.
Ouch.
You're delusional and you don't know where you are.
Yes.
And I need you to go to Peninsula Behavior Health
Yes.
and read all the documentation that your wife gave them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to prescribe some medication for you, Paul,
Yes.
because all of this was taken care of.
Yes.
And you do know that when we had the settlement conference setting hearing
Yes.
on September 14th of 2012,
Yes.
that you didn't get notice of,
Yes.
that we all agreed that we'd have another conference setting hearing,
Yes.
and I did have to issue the temporary order of child support
Yes.
because you were incapable of getting a job. Now I wouldn't have found out, would I? No.
Mm-mm.
You would have said, well, you agreed to all of this
Yes.
on December 31st of 2012.
Yes, you did.
And your sons will never be able to live with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can never have them, Paul. You have a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I would have motioned the court,
Right.
you would inform me of my mental illness.
Yes.
Now, of all the individuals that were at those settlement conference setting hearings,
Yes.
I'm going to want to know who they are. Who? And then the persons that decided to say I was mentally ill,
Mm-hmm.
we have another form of fraud,
Yes, we do.
making the false representation that I did have knowledge of the hearings,
Yes.
and then, of course, the fraud of making the false representation that I was there
Yes.
and I had agreed to everything right now. Now, this is one of those larger frauds.
Yes.
One of the largest frauds, where you don't give me a dissolution of marriage,
Yes.
with the intention that I would motion the court to get a copy of it, right? And I go in to pay the 50 cents a page. Yes. And you decide, no, I think you better talk to the judge because the judge is going to need to help you with this. Knowledge of such false representation by the perpetrator, reliance of the false representation by the person defrauded. Yes. Now, that could mean that since I'm the defrauded person, yes, and that my five sons were told in 2012 that I didn't want them, yes, that you used an impersonator, yes, to be at any of these meetings, right, where the individual said, I don't want them. I want you to have them. Yes, because I'm just not able to handle it anymore. It's just too much for me. Now, did my sons ever hear, yes, out of the mouths of my relatives, yes, that I didn't want them? Or did you employ any person to play the part of Paul C. Budnick so that they would believe the lie, believe it, that I, as a father, didn't want my sons? Now, this is a form of child abuse. Yes, it is. Child neglect. Now, let's say I got to sue him today for any false representation that I, as a responsible,